Welcome back to Closing Time with Nick El-Tawil. I am still Nick El-Tawil, and I'm here with my guest today, Brandon Schneider. What's up, B-Schneid?
What's up, baby?
So, Brandon, you and I have been playing basketball together for months and months and months.
Yeah.
You're pretty good
Thank you.
for a guy who's like 2 feet tall.
Thank you. I don't know how
He can launch threes from half court. He's crazy. Like when he's on, I can't even guard him.
Shoot or shoot.
Shoot or shoot. And that applies to real estate so perfectly too. Shoot or shoot.
I sure take my shots in both arenas.
My high school basketball coach told me, when you're hot, shoot till you get cold. And when you're cold, shoot till you get hot.
I like it.
Just never stop shooting.
Never stop shooting.
And I think that just applies so perfectly to what I do for work, because you hear no way more than you hear yes
100%.
in real estate, right?
Yep.
You're going to reach out to people, they're going to shoot you down, or no, I'm not ready yet. You just got to keep shooting.
Yep.
Keep shooting.
Every no is closer to a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you built your business a lot on open houses.
That's really how I built kind of the foundation of my business. And then, as you close deals and you build a name from open houses and, you have the credibility, then, I kind of leverage some other aspects such as like referrals, such as cold calling.
Mm-hmm.
I still do open houses every weekend because that's really my bread and butter, out-of-state referrals with agents. So, I try to have like 4 to 5 pillars in my business that, I can pull from so that, you're not solely reliant on 1 or 2, pillars, same as like building an investment portfolio. Like, you're not going to go all in on one asset class because you want to be diversified. And I think it's the same way with like real estate. The one thing that it's cool because like we both built like awesome businesses, but we've kind of done it in a different way where, you brand yourself so well. And that's one thing that like I noticed even before I met you is I'm like, I just keep seeing this Nick guy like everywhere I go. And that's like it's a very strong fundamental that I've noticed about your business, whereas like the branding is just spot on. So, recently I've built my own real estate team and Schneider Luxury Real Estate team. And like that's something that I'm starting to do, and that's something that I really admire about you is like how well you've branded yourself and your business. And I'm driving by the other day in PV Arcadia, and I'm like, there's my guy Nick, Curia, and it was just cool to see that. And it's something that I really want to better my business in that regard. So it's cool that we're sitting here together because we've both done it in different ways.
Mm-hmm. I got really lucky with that bus stop sign because I basically just got 2 to try it out. I put one downtown Phoenix. It was right next to Chase Field.
Yeah.
No one ever saw it. Like, no one ever told me they saw that one. So I got rid of that one. But the one I got on Tatum, it's actually in Paradise Valley.
Uh-huh.
Like, I can't believe that was even available.
But it was a great. I just remember driving by. I'm like, how did he get this location?
Yeah.
Like that's a great location.
Yeah. I'd like to get more of those, but they're like if you get a lot, they're not cheap.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about name recognition, right? And like I had held open houses for 300 plus days a year when I was on a team, and all I was doing was just building that team's name. They see the team name, like every single time. And it took me like 5 years to get my name even on the sign with that team, which, when I look back and I think about it, like it was just so silly. And I left so much on the table. And I mean, consistently, like I was closing $15+ million in volume a year without even that branding aspect. So like, it was just something that, I'm really excited that I'm building my own name, my team, I'm building a great, program underneath me where I mentor agents and, help them build an amazing business. And I feel like personally, I probably stayed where I was for a little bit too long. But at the same time, now I'm like guns blazing. I'm fired up. I'm ready. And I'm just excited to, show the world what I got.
Now, are you going to run your team like the team that you were on when you were coming up?
It's going to be...
You're going to try and help the agents who are under you.
It's going to be very different. I know that like people kind of look like the very seasoned real estate, pros, a lot of them look at teams as a scam. And, the thing is that teams are actually very valuable in the real estate space because
you need them.
You need them. And
you need people to help show.
Well, the people that are seasoned, like they learned at some point, and a lot of them been in the business 10, 15 years, where like it's been so long since they've had to learn new things that to them it's not as valuable. But when you talk, to agents that are between that $5 and $10 million mark, and they're been in the business from 1 to 3 years, like the things that I'm sharing with them are very valuable because I'm just steepening their growth curve for their career. And if they can learn these things right away, then it'll take them 3 years what took me 6. So I am very competitive on my splits. I have every agent that I bring on my team, they pay for their signs, their lockbox, their pictures. They run it as a business, but at the same time I'm there for them for support. And for me, it's not like I'm not building a team to get rich off of it. I'm building it for branding aspects. I'm building it for volume aspects, and I'm building it so that I can really, help a lot of people grow and get to that level that they want, but also in a very economically, projective way. Like, the people that are on my team, they keep a lot of their money. I'm not on doing 50-50 splits because I was on a team and I know that like I worked my ass off for my commission, and that was something I really valued was, a good split, but it was also that mentorship. So another thing I'm doing is I'm very hands-on. Like tomorrow I'm going door knocking with one of my team members, Michelle, and there's
you already hired people.
I already have, yeah.
Okay.
It's 2 weeks old. I already got my first team member. Kim is,
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. Kim is another team member. She's my girlfriend. She's helping build the team. She's technically, on the Schneider luxury real estate team.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be a husband-wife team in the future. You guys are going to be the next Jim Maryland. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like we're bringing on agents in a very specific category that want to put in the work, that are hustlers, that are full-time agents, that want to hit that next level, and they're good people. Like they're gonna show us in a great light, of Schneider Luxury Real Estate Team, and it's really important who you bring on because they're a reflection of you. And so far we've done great. We got a couple other agents that we're talking to, and we're just really excited to just blast off. And I don't want to have a 20+ person team. I want to keep it maybe 10 people max, but so that I can really pour into each person, have more of a hands-on approach. I mean, how many team leaders do you know that are out there producing a lot of business, and they also are going to take time to go door knock with a team member? Like that's one thing that I really take pride in, is like being there for my team members. So.
It's a person-to-person business, and at the end of the day, if you've got to be there in person for people.
100%. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yep.
And on that team building thing is for branding. I always make this analogy, like the people who live in Paradise Valley, what do they do for work? If they work.
A lot of them are entrepreneurs, they're business owners, they respect, follow up, hustle.
So they have
branding.
employees.
They have employees.
They have employees, right?
Yep.
So if you are running a team or a company, you are automatically on their level.
Yep.
Right? Do you think they want to work with an employee?
No.
No, they want to work with another
Exactly.
business owner, entrepreneur.
Yep.
Because that's who they relate to.
100%.
So at the end of the day, I think everything is marketing and branding.
Yep. It is.
You really break it down to that. That's branding. It's relating to people in the same way. It's being similar to the people that you're trying to connect with.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's also like time per hour, I think sometimes the best thing you can do is say no to a client, or say no to maybe an agent that doesn't fit the mold to come on your team, or like that's one thing that I've learned being in the business for now 6 years, that like it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to a client that wants to see homes right away and is ready to buy. If you're not, if you're
I wouldn't say no to that.
Well, it depends, right? Because like if they have unrealistic expectations, and you're and their
okay,
reality,
if they're crazy, yeah, maybe.
Well, if their reality doesn't align with the market's expectations of reality, then if they're coming in 20% below on every home, and they want you to see 10 homes a day, and you're spending hours on end with them every single weekend, and they never get their bid filled, you're just wasting your time. So an example would be like setting that expectation up front and making sure that like they have realistic expectations of what they expect, because by having that conversation, you might save yourself 30, 40 plus hours without making any money, where you can just cut the cord right away. And that's something that, I've had to do lately, is like fact find more with new clients, where it's like, if you're not in reality with the market, then look, there's going to be an agent that will show you 10 homes a day, but I'm not it.
I agree with that. I think there's always a way to like handle that situation though, unless someone's like insanely toxic. That's why you have a team. It's like, oh, I'm too busy, but here, this guy's gonna take care of you for now. Yeah. And that's the advantage of a team.
100%.
You can keep working with those guys, but maybe you're not personally doing it. It's like, okay, this is gonna be a lot for me, but this newer agent, he's on my team, he'd step up, he'd do this for you.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's also having that conversation to make sure that like, because if they're unrealistic, it might not even be something that I want to give to a team member where it's like, look, if they're coming in at $600,000 on $850,000 homes and they're expecting for a seller to bow down to them.
Do people do that?
They do, yeah.
Okay.
And in Arizona, like, we have the strongest economy in the whole nation. So like maybe in Nebraska or Wisconsin, you can go down and have sellers bow down to you to sell their home, and not as strong of an economy. But in Arizona, like, you have to be competitive as a buyer. And if you're not, and you don't understand that market, and like, maybe after a couple times going out, looking at homes, making offers, like, it's okay to cut the cord. And that's one thing that like has actually excelled my business, having those hard conversations and being willing to do that. Because, if you're a good agent, you work hard, data driven, and you give people, what they deserve in their home search, like, you're a very valuable asset. And I think, if you don't say no to the people that don't appreciate that, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're also doing them a disservice.
Agreed. I didn't know your girlfriend was an agent.
Yeah, so she's an agent out here, and
she's been an agent for a while.
She's been an agent for like 4 years in Florida. She does a lot of business in Florida.
Okay.
She has like probably 4 or 5 listings at all times in Florida. But recently she's moved to Arizona. She helps me a lot with the back end stuff. So she's like a marketing genius where she does, a lot of great marketing and updates clients with, the weekly reports, and just make sure that like we're kind of in sync on everything. And, she compliments me very well, because I'm always, like, I get up at 7 in the morning every single morning, and I cold call canceleds and expireds, and I do open houses every weekend. And I'm always go, grind.
So we're talking to this guy because he's a hustler.
Well, I'm always go, grind, but like, she's like the organization behind that grind. So it's like, if I just go, grind, then, there's not that organizational aspect to, especially the sellers that we work with, then, there needs to be a balance between hustle, lead generation, getting new clients, and also servicing the clients that you have really well. And if you don't have that balance, then you're doing a disservice, especially to the clients and the listings that you have. So that's the most important thing. But if you're not looking ahead and you're not lead generating every day and being consistent with that and hitting your contacts, like, I'm big on contacts. I make sure every single day that I get at least 10 new contacts, 10 new real estate conversations that I have with people. And if I don't get that, then my business would die. Like, it's not, what you're doing right now is always going to correlate in 3 to 6 months. So I just make sure that, what I'm doing right now is going to feed me in 3 to 6 months or 12 months. You know what I mean?
Same thing I'm telling Fritz right now.
Yep.
You just got to do the things every day.
Yep.
And if you stop doing the things, then you won't feel it right away. You'll feel it 6 months from now. Yeah.
So with Curia, are you building a team, or are you just a solo agent? What's your goal and vision for everything that you're building?
So Curia is a company powered by Side. And yeah, it's going to grow into a lot of people and a lot of agents. And the way my split works is I have the ability to like actually give them a split where they don't feel the need to leave. Who knows if that'll last forever? That's part of my deal as managing broker, but we'll see how long that lasts. But for now, yeah, I can actually hire a producing agent and give them a split that's competitive, and I like that. I like being able to do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm still rebuilding myself too. I've only been in AZ for under 4 years now.
Yeah.
So my time is better spent on my own clients. And if I get somebody who's good, like Fritz has a gold mine. Like, he's got 550,000 on Instagram.
Wow.
And he was telling me, he's like, Nick, how do I make money off these Instagram followers? I said, get your real estate license and post about real estate.
100%.
Sure enough, that's where his clients have been coming from. So
that's great.
I'm not actively seeking people out right now, but it will grow. But the real thing is, as managing broker of Side as a whole for Arizona, I can help other people get their own companies. Like I got Curia.
Yeah.
So right now we got 4. It's DeAndre and Morgan. They're a husband-wife team / company. It's called The Order. We got my company, Curia. And then we got Ken and Rebecca, who speak fluent Mandarin.
Wow.
So it was huge for overseas buyers, like having that as a resource. And then there's a guy named Joey Burgandy. He's a San Diego broker, but they have an affiliate office here in Arizona. It's called Desert Momentum. So they're the 4th one.
Yeah. That's
I think
awesome.
they're the biggest one. They only have 5 agents, but they're the biggest one that we have.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to see, you take that leap and go out on a limb and build something special. Because it's one thing to start your own team. It's another thing to build a brokerage. And that takes a bold...
So Side makes it so easy, and that's why, because I was an indie broker.
Yeah.
And I've been an indie broker for a long time. But Side, the tools they give you, the way they just, everything's streamlined, it's white labeled. It's like being, I want to say it's like being at a place like, Compass or the agency or something.
Yeah.
But instead of putting Compass or the agency on everything, you put your own personal company name on it.
Okay.
And you keep the equity.
Nice. That's awesome.
But actually, the real thing is the tech. The tech is actually really fucking good.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know that when I got into it.
That's awesome.
I wasn't expecting that.
Wow. So what about the tech is, specifically is bettering your business, would you say?
It's just so streamlined. I did a deal with Jason Glimcher right now. It was a rental deal. It was $10,000 a month. Getting the check from Compass, so Compass in Arizona was launched before, right?
Yeah.
So it's not really Compass. They're still transitioning over. So they still have all the people who are, this person has to cut the checks. They have to mail it here. They have to do this and that. So there's still a lot of manual labor involved. And getting that check has taken 3 weeks. They had another one. It took them 2 months to pay me. But Side, it's one payment center, wire it here, and you get paid as soon as it hits.
So out of all companies, you had to go after mine. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's because I literally just talked to Jason yesterday. Jason, we were just talking about this yesterday. And Jason's telling me, he's I'm going to hire my own office manager. I was like, dude, are you trying to bait me into saying, just get the fucking app and, do it on your phone?
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's a lot of, manual labor. You were telling me you were at another company where they had a transaction coordinator on site, and you had to use that transaction coordinator. And then there's someone in the office who does the back end stuff.
Yeah.
And then they have a designated broker who's on salary.
Yeah.
Besides everybody's in California, there's an app, and then everything runs through that.
That's solid.
So it just cuts out so much back end stuff that you would have to do as a brokerage owner.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a model that I don't think anyone can really copy. Because every state is so different. In California, where Side was founded, they can actually name each company whatever they want. So there's, a couple hundred companies out there powered by Side, and they'll have their own unique name. Arizona's law is a little different. We have to call it real estate collection. But then we add our own personal company name to the front of it. So I'm Curia Real Estate Collection.
Okay.
DeAndre Morgan, The Order Real Estate Collection.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just... learning all those ins and outs of every state, and then building systems for every state when every state's so different. It's a model I don't think people can copy. It would take a lot to copy Side.
It sounds pretty cool, and it's almost like each and every person owns their own brokerage per se.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's 2 or 3 years before the assets are all yours. But 2-3 years. That's not that long.
It goes by so quick in real estate. You're just running around like crazy all day, every day, and the next thing you know, it's been 5, 10, 20, whatever. Yeah. So, it goes quick, right? Yeah.
But, then it's yours. So, if you leave Side, you keep your company, you keep your branding. But I think they do 2-3 years, so they make that initial investment back.
That's cool.
But, they just don't want to lose money on people.
Wow. So is that, what would you say out of everything that you've done in your, real estate career, which, we both haven't been in the business for 20 plus years. We're both, grinding every day, and we're building our name and our brand and our business. What would you say more than anything else has elevated your business?
So back in the day, I was the cold caller, call it canceled, expired.
Mm-hmm.
I would also just go on like the tax records and just go through people who weren't even listed at any point,
Circle
just ask if they want to
yeah.
sell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I went really, really fucking hard with that my first few years. The market was great. It's like 2015, 2016. I'm a couple years in, and I was doing all right. COVID hit. I came back to Arizona, and I was actually really close to getting a job and not sticking with real estate because I knew I'd have to do this all over again.
Yeah.
But this time around, I was like, you know what? Social media is just the easiest way to reach out to so many people. So I can make a cold call, like look up someone's info, call them.
Yeah.
You might get one person every 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
You post a video that takes you 30 minutes to make on Instagram.
Yeah.
You reach 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
So are you directly reaching them and asking if they want to sell? No. So it's a little different, but over time it builds up, I think, much stronger.
It does.
Yeah.
And brand recognition, and that's why like every person I close, I take out to dinner, I want to build a good relationship with. And I make sure that, like, you know, not even just people I close, but people I meet, they remember me. Mm-hmm. And I think that the difference maker for me is, like, when I get told no, it doesn't stop me. And, you know, to like, obviously, if, you know, someone I don't know tells me stop, whatever, yeah, I stop. But, like, if I met someone in an open house and I feel like there's potential there and, you know, maybe not, you know, get told no, but, like, if they don't respond to me, like, the difference between a very successful agent and an agent that does decent is after those like 2 or 3 follow-ups that you don't hear back, or, you know, putting that follow-up plan in place of like every 2 weeks rather than, hey, I'm going to meet this person open house, I'm going to text them. If they don't text me back, you know, I'm just going to lose them or give up on them, whatever, and just go from hot to hot. It's like, no, like for me, like I really dig deep with my leads that I have. And I mean, I've built over 800 people just that I met at open houses alone in my, you know, my saved searches that are constantly being sent homes. And I make sure that I constantly touch all the people in there. I drip, you know, I text them, hey, how's it going? You know, what's your favorite part about the home search so far? What have you seen anything you like? You know, are there any questions on any areas? I always make sure that like I'm staying top of mind for people. And that's one thing that's really made the difference for me is, you know, the relentless follow-up and then the consistent generation. And when you put the lead generation, the follow-up together, it just creates an unstoppable kind of, you know, duo, like similar to...
It's all in the follow-up.
You know what I mean?
What I've noticed with really putting myself out there on social media is I actually don't need to follow up as much because
people see
me.
Yeah.
So they're not forgetting about me.
Mm-hmm.
So they know I'm in real estate every time they see me.
Yep.
And it's just always on their mind. And it's very similar to like texting and following up, except you're reaching just so many more people
on a platform.
Put yourself out there.
And it's like you only have to make one post in order to hit 1,000 people rather than sending 1,000 text messages or making 1,000 calls. So I can definitely understand that. I think
it doesn't have to be even Instagram, like Twitter. Actually, I think I've got way more value out of Twitter.
Really?
X. Yeah, and I have a lot less followers on there, but Twitter X is just a very sophisticated audience. Like the people who really use it, they tend to be smarter or business people, and they're using it to talk about business.
Yeah.
So that one I think is my best one.
Well, you have a different follower base than me because I got 300 followers, and they're all talking about altcoins that are down 90%. And
on Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter. I'm on crypto Twitter.
Yeah,
I don't have business Twitter, so it's like, I mean, my Twitter is a little bit different, but I could see that, you know, how, because I know people that really utilize Twitter and do really well with it, and I don't know. I've just always been, social media hasn't been ever really a generator of business for me. I've always tried to get in front of people that, you know, they're at an open house, they're actively looking, their home just came off the market, it just canceled. I like door knocking, but in the right areas. Like in 85254, door knocking has been amazing. Like I just sent an offer a couple days ago. This lady, I just met her, knocked on her door. Hey, you know, I'll sell my house, you know. So we sent her an offer. We're kind of going back and forth. So you just never know, like, if you just continue to put yourself in front of people. Like for me, if I put myself in front of people consistently that are looking to buy, sell, or just, I know that that's their objective in the next 2 years. Like, that's kind of been my strategy. But it's cool that, like, we both have such different strategies, and it's obviously worked very well for both of us,
Yeah, you sold, what, 20 million last year?
Yeah, right around there. I did a lot of wholesale deals that don't show, like, on the market. So last year, almost half of my business was investment deals where I, bought, wholesale, close on it, put it back on the market. So that was, with the market being much more challenging, I shifted my business, and I was still doing open houses. I really ramped up the expired and cancels, but the open house traffic, especially in the luxury homes, like 3 to 5 million, it just was not what it was before. Like, for every 4 people that would come in 2020 to 2022, you were getting 1 person. So instead of getting, you had 25% of the opportunities in the at-bats. So, if you are hitting, even double the percentage, you're still getting, 2 out of 4 that you would have gotten. So for me, what I did was I really ramped up my investment aspect of my business, and I built a disposition team. I have, people calling from me right now as we're on this podcast finding deals in all of last year. And that was something that really has been fruitful for me ever since really last year, is the investment side of the business. And then listings too. Like, in the last, say, 18 months, I've probably had 4 or 5 listings at all times, which I never really had early in my career. I was a very buyer.
No, you get a listing, you're the man.
Yeah, it's just like
everybody gets buyers.
Yeah,
you
it's
get a
like
listing, you're the man.
100%. Yeah, and a lot of the best agents that I know, they always have a lot of listings. So that's one thing that I looked at, and I was like, I need more listings, right? So early in my career, I always had a lot of buyers, and that was kind of like my main thing was like between 1 and 2 million in Scottsdale, the buyers, I meet them at open house, and next thing you know, like 2 months down the road, I'm giving them a closing gift and they're closing. And that was something that like really was like kind of the main driver of my business, open houses. But I haven't changed what I do at open houses, but with the market being different, I just had to add more pillars to hit those same and higher numbers as I did, earlier in my career. So that's one thing that, I did was just kind of pivot. And it wasn't that it wasn't that I took away from the open house. I just added more in other, realms. So what are some ways that you've pivoted in the recent market?
So I want to get a clip for my buddy Dan, if I can say something real quick, because we were talking about Twitter. So I had a guy, he's a real estate broker in Orange County. He's been a friend of mine on Twitter for years. Yeah, we're internet friends. We're adults. I had no idea that his company was powered by Side, Marterra Real Estate. No idea. I ran into him last year at Side by Side. Both recognized each other, had never seen each other in person. We just clicked right away. But he was on stage. He has like 7,000 followers on Twitter, like not crazy big or anything. Yeah. He sold 20 million, not last year, the year before, 2024, 20 million just off Twitter.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And what was his secret?
Just posting.
Just posting. Yeah. And was it like real estate material or what?
Yeah, so he's actually a really funny guy.
Yeah.
And that sense of humor can show on Twitter, I think, better than other places. So he's actually just really fucking funny. So he'll make funny memes, but then he'll have a serious post every once in a while. But it's mostly like he's making people laugh.
Yeah.
But then he funnels you down to the serious stuff. Yeah. Oh, get on my newsletter. Do this, do that. So there's a whole funnel for him, and he's actually dialed it in.
That's amazing.
I'm more of a just post what I feel like kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, and, I mean, I do the same thing. Like when I meet people, like I'm like super serious, and then I throw a joke in to lighten things up. So.
Shout out Dan. See you, buddy.
Shout out Dan. I don't know you, but you sound like a boss.
So what have I been doing lately to grow my business more?
Yeah, I mean, like...
Working with this guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jensen.
Hey, Jensen.
We're going to have the boom mic on today, so you guys can't hear him, but Jensen's in there smiling in the back.
He's fist pumping, he's smiling. Love it. Yeah. No, I've really noticed, like, Jensen's, the best photographer there is, and a lot of my friends work with him, and I've noticed, their social media just looks so much better, just aesthetically, and I haven't yet invested into my Jensen, But that's definitely going to be something that I need to do, to really build my social media presence and all. And I feel like I've always spent little to no money on anything when it comes to real estate, which, it's not always the best route to take. But I mean, the good thing for me is that like I keep everything I make. So, but I know that I'm leaving a lot on the table, and I've been like, one thing I have excelled at is like turning one deal into 3 or 4. So if I look at it in that perspective, and then I, spend money on getting that one deal, then that turns into 3 or 4, and then instead of a $15,000-$20,000 check, it's 70, 80. So that's definitely something I need to look more into, and invest into my Jensen as well.
I will say, you can do this social media stuff on your phone for free. And that's what I was doing when I ran into this guy. I just like Jensen. I was not planning on spending all the money I've spent with you, but he works really hard. It's a relationship back and forth between me and him. Like he kind of knows what I like. I kind of know how he's going to do things. So we kind of built our own style working together over a period of time. Yeah. So if I didn't have Jensen, I would probably still be doing stuff on my phone. Just, making it quick, easy, free. Takes 10 minutes, you make something.
100%.
And you'll also get more comfortable if you do that first, because you spend all this money and then you get in front of the camera and you feel nervous. You don't want that.
Yeah, for sure. And he does it every day, so it's like, the same thing as like us negotiating in a very stressful situation, and maybe we work with a client that's bought 5 or 6 homes, or maybe we're mentoring a team member that hasn't been in that situation as much as us, and it goes back to like, that's what you do. You make your clients feel comfortable, Jensen, and we make our clients feel comfortable as well, where it's like when we're in the heat of battle, like that, that's really where we excel, and we, kind of calm everything down and just get it done the right way. So.
I freak out. I don't know about you guys. I lose my mind.
That's one thing I'll say is like when it is the most stressful, fire on the wall, fire in the whatever, like situations, like that is when I feel like I'm at my best. Just personally, like I'm very good under high stress situations. But then again, there's also flaws that I have that I need to work on. Like none of us,
You're not perfect.
Far from it. But when it comes to like very stressful, high leverage situations where, I have a deal that's about to fall apart and, stuff hitting the fan, I'd say that like I'm pretty good at handling those situations, which has came from dealing with a lot of fire.
Right, yeah, you get numb to it after a while.
You get numb to it,
When I first got into real estate, I remember I actually couldn't sleep the first month. And then I finally closed the rental deal, and I was like, okay, I can sleep now.
Yeah.
But, I had a few, like, big deals that I just lost. And it sucks, and you feel that pain. But after a while, you're just like, oh, I know how to handle that situation next time.
100%.
And, you've been through that a few times. Now you just automatically handle those situations correctly.
100%.
And those mistakes don't happen.
Exactly. And there's no bigger teacher than losing money from something.
Yep.
And when you've been in that situation 100 times and you've made a mistake, like every time, I always say like every single day I learn something new in real estate. And when you put yourself out there all day, every day and grind all day, every day, then, what you learn in 6 years, a lot of agents it takes them 20 years to learn if you're really putting yourself out there and you're really, grinding all day, every day. So I would say that, like, I've been fortunate to learn a lot early in my career, and you have too. And that's what creates that, part of that value proposition that we give to our clients, not just the marketing, not just the open houses, not just the hard work and the communication, but it's also that thick skin and that experience and, learning from our mistakes. And, clients, they really appreciate that, because any seller, any buyer that we work with has not sold and bought over 100 homes like me and you have. So helped. So that's what people pay the big bucks for, is that calm factor. Because when you're even personally, when I'm buying or selling a home, it's emotional. You don't want to leave any money on the table. It's easy to say no. you know, you don't want to give away a big asset, or you're spending a lot of money on the buy side, or whatever it is. And like, you need that calming voice, which, you know, as agents, we are that calming, non-emotional voice, because although, yeah, maybe we have a big deal or a commission on the line, like, that's nowhere near as stressful as actually selling or purchasing a property. So, I think.
Well, 100%, yes. Like, we have a lot less to lose than them, and that's why agents exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And agents will always exist.
Always. Never going away. I will say, I like how you said we've been through the fire, and that's what gives you that tough skin. I think that's why I'm not so keen on hiring a bunch of new agents and trying to teach them, because I actually don't know how to explain things to people. I'm just like, well, I went through it. I felt the losses. I felt the pain, and then I just learned from that.
Yep.
And I don't know how to explain. Oh, you need to do it. I just don't know how. So I got Fritz there. He's newish. And yeah, like, there's things I just don't know how to explain to him.
I mean, in a way, you kind of just have to put yourself out there and go through hell to get to heaven, you know, as an agent.
And that's why I like Fritz, because he's out there doing all that.
But at the same time, like, if you're in a conversation where your client is really stressed out, or you're dealing with an agent with a certain personality type, or you have a situation that you've been through 10 times, and you have an agent that comes to you and they're in that situation, like, it's so much easier to say, like, look, take a deep breath. I've been here 100 times. Maybe it's only 10. But, you know how you've trialed and erred through that situation, which can be the difference between a younger agent's deal falling apart and them closing that deal. And as a young agent, a new agent, when you have, you know, you're grinding, and maybe you're not seeing a paycheck, to you as a new agent, like, it can make or break careers, that deal, right? So, like, if you have a agent that is on your team, and you sense their stress, you know what they're going through, you know, you've been there before, you know how it is as a new agent when you're just, like, scrambling and you're freaking out. So it's like, again, the calming voice, you know, as a team leader, as a representative, it's like, that's why we make the money that we do, is because we've put ourselves in the situation, we've been through the fire, we've learned. And I mean, in my perspective, I feel like it's only right that we build our team in a way where we can help these agents mold themselves into what we are, just in a quicker way. And they're going to make mistakes. They're going to go into listing appointments. They're going to say the wrong things. They're going to lose it. I can't tell you what to say on the spot and what not to say if you've already said it in a listing appointment, but we can learn from different things. And especially, I think, in the tough deals that are about to fall apart, or, you know, that our clients are, you know, demanding one thing or another, the stressful, high leverage situations, is, as builders and team leaders, is where we can really help out, you know. But when it comes to learning, you're going to live, you're going to learn, you're going to make mistakes, and our job is just to limit that and just expedite that learning curve, you know?
For sure. You got to monitor them when they're in a deal. But as far as, like, the basic stuff, like, oh, what do I say to this?
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's certain things I just don't even know how to explain, because it's second nature to me.
It's second nature, yeah. And I think it just comes with, like, value first, and the connection is the strongest thing that you can have in any business, real estate relationship with a client, because first off, if someone doesn't like you, they're never going to work with you. Like, real estate is a very close, you know, relationship-based business where, like, if you're selling your home with an agent, or if you're buying a home with an agent, you're going to talk to them every day as that process is unfolding. And if you don't like that person, it's going to be a very uncomfortable process. But going back to that is, if you really do like that person and you enjoy them and you respect them and you appreciate their hard work and their knowledge, then, like, you can really get around a lot of stressful situations by having a great relationship with someone. That, therefore, like, it's like building a house with the foundation laid first as the concrete, and your concrete is your relationship with your client. And as long as you build it in that way, you're going to have a very fruitful business. And, you know, when you do a great job for someone, there's no better, you know, present that someone can give you than a referral. And that's what you see, you know, the best agents do, is build a great referral business to where, you know, their clients that are their advocates, you know, they send them deal after deal because they know them, like them, trust them.
Bro, you got weeks of content out of this. So, Brandon, how'd you get into real estate?
That's actually a funny story.
Give me the personal history right now.
So, backstory for me, went to Colorado State, graduated, came out here to Arizona. My buddy Trayvon, I played basketball with him in high school. He moved out here, he loved it. I'm like, what is in that Arizona water? I got to go taste it. So I came out here, took a sip, and I never went back to Colorado. I mean, maybe I've literally gone back once in like 8 years. So the weather, the opportunity, the proximity to everything. I love Arizona, but my problem when I first came to Arizona was like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew where I wanted to go, but I didn't know how I wanted to get there. And I knew I was willing to put in the work. I knew, I was a hard worker, personality, whatever. But like I just didn't know. So like I had to try so many different things in order to figure it out. I sold cars, I did Lyft, I worked at a shoe store, I sold solar. Like I hated it all. But when I sold cars, I was the first person in there, the last person to leave. I sold 15 cars my first month. I connected with people. I was a dog, and I did well at it. I just hated sitting behind people and not being honest with them and working against them while I was acting like I was working for them. So then I started to look more into different careers, and I dove deep into being a real estate agent and found that you represent a person's best interest. You battle tooth and nail for their best dollar while sitting on the same side as them, negotiating same as like a lawyer would for their client, So that was something that was really appealing to me. I actually picked someone up in a Lyft drive, dead broke. I had no more than $1,000 to my name at any given time. I was driving Lyft to make ends meet. I picked this guy up in the back seat, and we hit it off. He was telling me, I couldn't even tell you what his name is today. We hit it off. He told me about the real estate business, and then I just made the decision right then and there, I'm going to get my real estate license. That was when the rubber met the road. I took the class, I started taking the test, and I got 50, 52, 54. I failed the real estate test 19 times. I could not pass for the life of me. 19. I finally passed it, and when I passed it, it was like all guns blazing. I mean, I think I sold like $8 million my first year. I sold a $2.3 million house in 2020, but like $8 million in 2020 was like $15 million now.
Yeah.
So it was guns blazing, from the second I got in the business. And it was just like I held an open house literally every single day. I must have done 350 open houses my first year. And it was just, that was like, it just burned. It was a burning fire in my stomach that I just loved hustling, getting in front of people. And it was like I sold my soul to the game. And yeah, that's my story.
I love that.
Thank you.
I fucking love that.
Thank you.
I don't think you sold your soul. I think you committed.
I committed.
You committed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
I love that.
On a Tuesday, I mean, I can go on a walk with my girlfriend, and, I can go on a vacation during the week. Like, I
The freedom is huge.
The freedom, it's
huge.
It's about the fact that that at any given point in time, you have freedom. Mm-hmm. It's not that I take that, because if I were to utilize that freedom, as much as I could, then I would be declining in my business and life. So it's like, yeah, I'm very focused on building my business and having a great quality of life, but it's just in the back of my head that, like, knowing that, like, if I want to go out of the country and I want to take a trip for a couple of weeks, like, I can do that, right? Mm-hmm. And like, I built true financial freedom through real estate, and it was from doing the things that a lot of people didn't want to do. It was from the late nights staying up and reading books and studying and being at open houses and like just building that internal animal to like get there. But it was a lot of sacrifice. I still sacrifice to this day, every week basically, open houses every weekend. And it's just, I want that next level, like I want to be the best.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, buddy. Brandon Schneider, everybody. I'm Nick El-Tawil. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.